So next is the ideation phase, and this is where we go from the focus on the problem towards the solution. So as from now on, we've basically explored the problem, we got a lot of insights, and now we're ready to think about solutions. So this is about bringing out the best ideas, and it's also about going beyond the obvious. If the solution would be obvious, we wouldn't need to do this whole process. So right now is your chance for innovation, innovative ideas, and that's the ideation phase. So ideation usually starts with brainstorming. So you can bring out like the wild ideas, and you can bring out like all the tools that will help you stimulate your brain to come up with better ideas. So of course, one of the most used tools is Post-its, just to write a lot of ideas down and be able to cluster them afterwards and put one on top of the other in order to organize them and kind of get a hierarchy between the ideas. Usually we start with a brain dump just in order to get the obvious idea out, and then afterwards we'll apply some techniques in order to get to more original solutions, more original ideas, and really stimulate your brain in order to find better ideas. So this first part of the ideation phase is diverging. It's about divergent thinking, and there's a couple of helpful principles that I would like to give to you. Involve very diverse people in your brainstorm. You really want different perspectives also in this phase. You really want contributions from different sides, from different angles, that really helps you to really get to better solutions, more original solutions. So try to involve different stakeholders in the problem. Get them involved in brainstorming. Once you do the brainstorming, try to postpone judgment of the ideas. Try to really let everything flow, write down everything that happens, and afterwards you can throw out the ideas that are just not good enough or not original enough, not innovative enough. Go for quantity in this phase of the process. So you really want like a lot of ideas to come in. Afterwards you can filter the bad ones out. Try not to interrupt each other, and make sure as a facilitator that everybody gets their turn and everybody can contribute a lot of their ideas also from the back of their mind. So beware of very dominant people, and make sure everybody gets to contribute and balance each other's input. Make sure that copying is okay, that this is a trusted environment where people get to play and people can really bring out their crazy ideas as well as their just obvious normal ideas. So copying and adjusting and enriching is okay, because that is another way to get to more original, more better ideas, finally. Try stimulating techniques, and again, this is something that you can find a lot on the internet. There's very many techniques. You can invent your own techniques as well, and those stimulating techniques can really help you to go beyond the obvious and really push your brain a little bit more in order to get to better and more results, which is what you want at this point of time. So just to illustrate, one technique that is really powerful and you might want to use in this phase is the use of metaphors. And metaphors, so you compare your problem or your solution to something else, and then through this metaphor you can come up with new ideas. So for example, I'm designing a game, right? A game for entrepreneurs. So a game is a parallel world. Now I can fantasize a little bit about this parallel world. What would it look like? What kind of paradigms, what kind of, how would this parallel world work? Is there any other rules that are different from like this normal physical world that might want to stimulate people to try out new things? So if I think of my game as a parallel world, I can come up with my own rules, and I can come up with things that really might stimulate people in their gameplay. So I'm creating this parallel world, this safe environment, and people can share a lot of things. Now that's a metaphor, and through this metaphor I can come up with different solutions and different things that might help me in resolving the problem. Now after diverging, and hopefully in a divergent phase you come up with at least 60 to 100 ideas, so it's really about quantity. After this divergent phase, you get to the converging phase. So you need to bring it down to a couple of options, a couple of very good options, hopefully, and then base your next phase, which is going to be prototyping, on these solutions, on these ideas. So in the converging phase, first, you want to filter out the bad ideas or that are just not complying with your success criteria or preconditions. You also want to filter out the crazy ideas, and you might want to try enriching a lot. So there could be a lot of ideas that are just complementary and can really go together and create something good together. And that's how you should think about creating like the end result of the converging phase. So in this phase, you might want to set up success criteria if you hadn't done that before, and also weighing your criteria, which ones are important, and then filtering your ideas. You might also want to use voting. So this is especially good once people get multiple votes. So let's say each participant of the brainstorm gets 5 votes, and they can choose whether they want to put all their five votes on one idea, or they might want to divide it a little bit. So that's also a way to get the best ideas out, and you really want to combine and enrich your ideas in this phase in order to get to the best results for the next phase. So a couple of good ideas, that's what the outcome should be, and a couple of ideas that we can really prototype. So in this phase, it's not about quantity anymore, it's about quality. So let's go to the next phase, to the prototyping phase.